wondering one or two of two different things. First, you might be wondering, why am I seeing this guy's ugly face again so soon? You may also be wondering, why my face is so bright. Well, the first one is because I thought of some other things that I wanted to say, so here's my ugly face again. The second thing is my face is so bright because I put up a lamp. So it's no longer just the regular dim light in the middle of the room. I actually have a lamp that is up on my desk, shining light down onto my beautiful face. So I hope that answers both of those concerns, even if it doesn't alleviate them. The topic of conversation I'd like to start with in this video is about Mass Effect and Mass Effect 2. First, I'd like to talk about the sheer dumb luck factor, and this can be in any particular game. It doesn't have to be Mass Effect or Mass Effect 2, but when you're playing a game, you don't really know what you're supposed to do exactly, because they don't really give you an instruction manual that says, this is your objective, and this is how you complete it. They give you a general overview of the game mechanics and stuff like that, but they don't really actually say what route you're supposed to go. Now, I did learn this after my first playthrough of Mass Effect 2, but you have to gain the loyalty of each squad member if you want them to live through the suicide mission. And I had absolutely no idea what I was doing the first time that I played Mass Effect 2. So I just did whatever. Sheer dumb luck. Every single person survived. I didn't really rush into it. I mean, I just followed the storyline pretty much. Now, my second playthrough and my third playthrough were quite a bit different because I still didn't know what I was doing, so eventually some of my people died and I'm like, okay, wait, why did some of my people die just now when they didn't die the first time? So I looked it up online and found out about the loyalty and all that stuff. But the sheer dumb luck factor plays into any game that you can possibly play. You don't know what you're doing, but you win. Like, you win 100%, which isn't normal for a first playthrough. It's just sheer dumb luck. So I don't know if you've experienced that, but that is my experience, that I have no idea what I'm doing, but I just go through it and end up fine. And then later I learn why I ended up fine, and something didn't work the second time that I did it, so sheer dumb luck. Now, on that note, I'd also like to talk about the replay value of Mass Effect and Mass Effect 2. I have played through both games at least twice. I think 3 times for each game at the moment. But the replay value isn't as good as it is at the very beginning. At the very beginning, you pretty much go through for the storyline. You don't really care about the missions or completing side jobs and stuff like that. You don't care about relationships, etc. But when you go through it a second time, you really look at the relationships and the side quests that you can do and all the additional content that they have in it. You kind of just breeze through the storyline content. Now, that presents some problems in this particular game, Mass Effect and Mass Effect 2, because breezing through the cinematics requires you to press spacebar. Now, if a dialogue option comes up and it happens to be available where you're pointed, and you press spacebar, it selects that option. So if you want to go a certain route, like Paragon or Renegade, and you accidentally click the spacebar too quickly to pass through all the cinematics to get to the dialogue, then you choose the wrong dialogue option. So that kind of doesn't help the replay value, because you don't really want to see all the stuff that you've already seen before. You want to kind of get around to doing whatever else you want to do in the game, such as relationships, side quests, whatever. Exploration, doesn't really matter. That being said, the game has different levels. There's casual, normal, insane modes that you can play that differs the combat. Now, that doesn't differ the cinematics or the Paragon Renegade options or the dialogue options or the relationships, but it does change the combat. So the replay value for the combat is very high. The replay value for the dialogue options and the cinematics is relatively low. So overall, it kind of evens out where you'd kind of want to replay it, but you wouldn't replay it for the storyline. You'd definitely replay it for getting different options different side quests, different relationships. Now, on the topic of games, but off the topic of Mass Effect and Mass Effect 2, I recently saw a YouTube video that said, Ice Climbers scale 650-foot waterfall. Now, it's probably not a good thing, but I immediately thought of Super Smash Brothers, the Ice Climbers from Super Smash Brothers. So I was very, very confused for a moment, because I was like, Ice Climbers scale a 650-foot waterfall? Doesn't make any sense. And then I realized that it was actual ice climbers and not the ice climbers from Super Smash Brothers. That was a little bit weird for just a moment. Very small glitch in my mind there. Now, moving on to the final topic that I was very recently watching and thinking about is Black Swan, the movie. To put it simply, this movie is a serious psychological mindfuck. And that is putting it lightly. There are parts in this movie that you don't know whether they're real or not until after the fact, and even then you still question whether they're reality or in this girl's mind. You begin to relate to the character in that her paranoia becomes yours, and you're wondering what's going to happen next that's going to set her off, what's going to happen next that's going to make me jump. You can really see the transformation from innocence to kind of insane. And it is very interesting to see this transformation as well as kind of experience it with her, because through the entire movie you are transforming with her. You see what she sees, and you begin to kind of question the people around her, their motives. You also begin to question whether what you're seeing is actually happening or if it's just completely in her mind. You don't actually know sometimes. Sometimes it's clear that, yeah, that definitely didn't happen. Sometimes it's just like, I have absolutely no idea whether that just happened or not. If it did, that's really creepy. And maybe some of it happened, maybe some of it didn't happen. But which did and which didn't. So that was definitely a creepy movie. It was very well done, though. It was also very creepy. So it's partially a horror movie and partially not. There are parts that are kind of simplistic and they're fine and they work well as part of the movie. But overall, I mean, that is a very scary movie. And I'm not talking about, like, jumps out at you and scares you movie. I'm talking about, like, it really makes you think about what the hell is just going on right there. So, I would recommend that movie. I can't really say who I'd recommend it to. It's sort of a combination of Inception and oh my fucking god, what just happened? And you mash those two together, remove the layers and the dreams, and you've got Black Swan, sort of. I mean, that's the best way that I can describe it. It's like mind-boggling to me what happened. So, I recommend that you do see it. Consider it for yourself. If you really like it, then you really like it. If you really don't, then you really don't. I mean, this movie, I didn't think it would appeal to me at all. I'm not saying that it didn't appeal to me. It did, sort of, but it was very creepy as well. And, as I said, a serious psychological mindfuck. I'm just going to leave it at that. And if you see it, you can try to describe it in your own words. But yeah, that happened recently. I saw that, I think yesterday. And it definitely made me think about stuff a lot. So, that was interesting. So I'll leave you with that. And for thinking about that. So games, movies. That's all I have for you so far. Maybe I'll have something more for you at a later time. Still no word from the Air Force, so I don't know what's going on there, but hopefully that will clear up soon. I hate long processes, stuff that takes a long time. Like, even when my internet page stays up for 5 seconds too long, it's just like, oh, come on, go. I'm sure many of you are like that as well. It's just, your time is very precious. So, thank you for watching this video, I guess, because, I mean, you spend your time watching the video instead of watching another video that could be better. That probably is better, actually. So, yeah. Spend your time wisely, I suppose, and see if you can find something fun and exciting to do instead of, watching me talk about movies and games. Because, I mean, it can help a little bit. If I review a movie and I think it's really, really good, I'll recommend it to you. You'll see it. You'll probably really like it. And then you can be like, oh, good, I'm glad that he told me to watch that. And so, yeah. And then my game reviews aren't really game reviews. They're just kind of talking about the aspects of the game that I like and dislike. And so, I mean, I guess if you like those aspects, then you can go play it and see if you like it. And yeah, I'm talking too much, so I'm going to finish up and have a nice day, week, month, whatever. I'll see you next time.